ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Welcome to episode 59 of the Vision of Gamers podcast. My name is Greylock3491, and this week I'm joined by Osiris Prime.
Hello, everybody.
No Master Chief.
No, yeah, took
Okay.
another week off.
Oh,
My wife was just asking about that too. She's like, "Why didn't you put him up?" I was like, "I didn't have time." But actually,
Well-
I did because I probably could have.
well, yeah, I don't know. We had a lot of trouble. If you're watching, Hangouts on Air has moved to YouTube, and the invites are not going out, so we had to resort to email to share the invites. It was, a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Very archaic.
But hey, you didn't have your mic on mute this week.
I didn't.
That's I did, and I did that last week too. It was kind of funny. So hey, you know what? We're just gonna get right into it. Everybody else is like wicked busy. It's not like they're on another podcast or hanging out with other friends. No, they're really busy with real things. And it also could be that some of the guys didn't get our invite because that big monopoly known as Google, who makes all kinds of billions of dollars, their invite system isn't working. But that being said, let's go into our playlist. And this is sponsored by gamingworldforums.com, where all our websites that we talk about are based. For me, because Rise of Iron is coming out tomorrow, I actually think it's available at 5 a.m. in the morning.
You gonna stay up?
No, I get up around 4. So
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking, well, maybe I could get a couple games in before I go for my run. Right?
There you go.
So, 5 a.m. I kind of like that. That's good. 5 a.m. Eastern. That's what I thought they said. And that makes sense, though, because it's a pre-order. And,
Yeah.
if you pre-order it digitally, I mean, if you bought it from a store, you probably have to wait till like 10 a.m., right?
Do you have it pre-installed already?
I'm hoping that happens automatically.
Oh,
Does it?
usually, for most games, like full games, they do it like from a few days to a week beforehand. But I don't know about because this is like DLC, right? Basically,
Yeah.
more or less. So I would assume it would be the same thing. It should have installed, although it usually tells you. So I don't know.
I'll have to check after the show.
Yeah.
Let's see. I played a little bit of Field Runners 2 on my iPad. Just kind of a distracting thing. When I finished a couple of sci-fi books this week, and I didn't want to run into another sci-fi book, so it's a good way to pass 5-10 minutes. It's such a cute game. There's so much in it that I'm kind of like, why is it so complicated? It's really not complicated, but there's all kinds of extra things you can do. I mean, think Plants vs. Zombies and Plants vs. Zombies 2, where in Plants vs. Zombies 2, you get the little hurricanes and electricity that you could pull in from the side and zap which you didn't have that in Plants vs. Zombies 1. So, a very cool game. They even have a way you can take a picture of your screen by pressing the home and the sleep button at the same time, which is cool. I'm not that coordinated to get that done before, the game ends or whatever. But and then I played some more Elite Dangerous and started the grind of being a trader. And after 2-3 hours, I made $2-3 million with it, or credits with it. I'm ready to move on to something else. And my bro Spyro is talking to me about the community goal, so I'll have to check that out. But that's my playlist. Prime, you still there? You're muted. Your picture's going.
I had a little sneezing fit there. Sorry, I wanted to.
Oh, no. Thank you for muting yourself. I appreciate that. Hey, what have you been playing this week?
So I jumped back into my backlog, and I was going through Advanced Warfare again. So I played that probably like 2 or 3 levels. I usually try to get in at least 1 or 2 levels a play session. So I was able to get a couple levels in. So not really sure how far I am in through the game story-wise. I don't know. maybe first third, first half, probably like the first half. So hopefully I'll be able to finish that up in about another few weeks to a month or so. And then, just like you, I've been playing Elite Dangerous. So finally kind of figured out now. I'm figuring out like the map and everything and how to traverse around. I think I mentioned that last week. But now I was playing today because I had the day off, so I had some gaming time in. And I didn't realize like on the when you're looking at the main like radar thing there in the upper right hand or upper left hand corner, there's that little blue dot like when you have a destination picked out. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that kind of focuses, on that dot is where you need to go. Like if you kind of come out of, the hyperspace or whatever they call it in this game. But yeah, I didn't realize that until today, and it made it a lot easier to try to find, because when you come out of the hyperspace, you're kind of just like looking at a sun or whatever, looking at a planet. So then you kind of don't know where to go. And I kind of figured that out finally, which is just me being a noob, I guess, figure things out. But that was good. So at least I got that going for me.
That's key. Yeah, that's key. It's so helpful.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots though now where I hit one of those, like, I forgot what they're called, like those energy field things, and people attack you,
Yes.
which I didn't have any problems before, but now like as soon as I get attacked, like almost immediately, like my power just runs out. So I think I got to add like power cells or some kind of power or something or other.
Well,
'Cause
what kind of ship you flying?
I've got the hauler, I think it's called.
The hauler. Okay. So you probably want to upgrade your, I'm going to say you'd want to upgrade your, probably your power supply. Okay. So you can generate more power, and your power distributor, which will allow power to get to more things faster.
Okay.
And you'll see as you choose each one of those, you should see on the screen in the game, it's very, very clear, how it's affecting your shields. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have to bounce, I have to go all the way back up and then come all the way back down to
Right.
see how they compare with the shields. And also that Coriolis.io website will show
Okay.
you that too. But I've done something very similar in mine where I because I'm running the Type 6, that I had to upgrade my power, and you can actually even upgrade your shield generator as well. But I think the
Yeah, I did that.
quickest thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did. I
did
think
the
the
shield,
quickest thing you can do is switch power into your shields if you get attacked. Use your left D-pad.
Right.
Switch power into your shields. Matter of
Okay.
fact, I often run with my shields at max power because most of the stations I go to are close to the nav point, close to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I don't need to have all my power on my. But yeah, those are some thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, because it was weird. Because once that happens, like I lose thrusters like altogether, so I'm just dead in the water. Like I still have life support and I still have shields, but I can't do any thrusting or anything. So I'm like, I pretty much get killed right away. So that's what I was assuming. I needed some kind of power. So yeah, I'll have to upgrade those. Other than that, I did I landed on a couple planets, which is kind of cool. I had never done that before. So it's a different experience than just, going to a regular space station or anything like that. So it's pretty cool. So I
Did you
might
take
want to.
your buggy out on the surface?
No, not yet. No.
Next time you land on a planet, when you're done, like take off,
Mhm.
just fly away like, I don't know, 100 feet, well, maybe a little more than that, 100 yards, and then land, and you can deploy. Well, you may not have one in your hauler, but you look down. If you look down at your center console,
Right.
you'll see if you have and typically you get one in the Sidewinder you get with the start of the game, but you typically wouldn't buy one later on. Matter of fact, in the next version coming out, you should be able to take your landing vehicle, your SRV, out of your original Sidewinder and put it into storage, and then put it back into any other ship you have.
Oh,
So you
nice.
may want to wait on that so you don't have to buy it, but it's not expensive. But man, it is fun. We got to get a race together at some point. It's hilarious because especially on a low G planet, because you
Yeah.
can bounce off a bump and go flying.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to do some mining maybe. I was thinking of maybe kind of going that direction. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of things I got to try still. So got to get my power situation fixed though. So I'm not like getting destroyed right away. Well, that was the one
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that was the one thing last weekend, or not this past last weekend, but the weekend before, or maybe it was during the week. I was fighting some guy, and I had all my power and everything, so I was doing pretty good, pretty decent. And then some other ship came in and was helping me. And then unfortunately, like I've mentioned in the past, all of a sudden I got kicked from the server. So I was like, oh, great. I'm actually doing good for once, and I get destroyed, or I get bumped off. So that kind of stunk. But
Well,
Sorry.
our good friend Downriver Rat has been getting bumped a lot, so I sent him the link
Oh, yeah.
to the sent him the link to open a ticket with Frontier. You know, I don't. Maybe he's just getting put into the wrong server. Maybe they misidentified what location he's from. I don't know, but he has better internet access than I do. So I'm hoping, and he's running a Type 6 too. So that means he's been, I think a Type 6 is well over $1 million. So
Yeah.
he's been very successful. But to get bumped so often, I don't know how he's still playing. To be honest with you, that's frustrating. I mean,
Yeah,
I haven't gotten bumped that much lately. When I first got the game, I was getting bumped maybe every 10, 15 minutes, but lately I have
Oh,
not.
really? Oh, yeah. After that time, I hadn't been bumped off since, and I played for maybe like a couple hours this past weekend, and then a couple hours this today, and I didn't get bumped at all. So I don't know. It's just, of course, I'm playing during the day, so there might not be as many people on there too. So who knows?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
I played via Wi-Fi. We have a
Oh, okay.
access point that we use up at the campground, and so I played via Wi-Fi, and you know, I only had 2 bars. I only had 2 bars, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Now I did play solo, hoping that it would keep the bandwidth usage down, but I didn't have a problem. So
Cool.
what else? So you've played some Call of Duty. You played some Elite Dangerous. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. It's pretty much it for this past week. There was some Black Ops 3, but that's my usual. Just game in here and there.
Hey, so let me ask you this. You know, the more I see the trailers for the new Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, right?
Right.
The more I'm like, that looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about now, I played through Ghosts all the way. And that's the last one I bought, I think, is Ghosts. I have every Call of Duty game ever made up until Ghosts. And Black Ops 3 and what was the last one? Advanced Warfare?
Advanced Warfare. Yeah, that's the one I'm doing now. Yep. Campaign.
Yep. I did not buy those two, and it wasn't because I didn't enjoy the Ghost campaign, which I know a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
It's just timing. It's just time. You know, where do I find the time? And the stories didn't really speak to me. I mean, they just didn't. But this new, what do you think? I'm sure you've watched some of these previews. What do you think? Is the story intriguing you? Is it something you want to play, or is it not?
Yeah, it definitely looks pretty much on par with Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3's actually, you know what? I haven't played that one yet. Now that I think about it, I'm sorry. Advanced Warfare is the one I'm playing now. This one's actually pretty decent. Advanced Warfare. I mean, you got other than Kevin Spacey, like the other people, I don't really know. I was looking up like the actors and stuff. I didn't really know them, but I mean, everybody does a really good job, and the story's pretty good. Nothing like blowing your away or anything, but I think it's better than Ghosts at least. So, yeah, I was one of those guys that didn't really like Ghosts too much, but yeah, it looks really intriguing, and I always like the sci-fi kind of atmosphere and element, so that I always kind of gravitate toward that. So it looks really good. I'm definitely gonna enjoy that one, I think.
I think what kind of turned me off with Advanced Warfare was, this World War III over and over and over again. And, I didn't really know what Ghost was. I got it like super cheap. It was like a digital download for $20. It was a big sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played through it, and I liked the space combat. Not that it made a lot of sense, but I liked the space combat. And it reminded me back to 007 Nightfire. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but there was some pretty decent space combat. What I think is decent space combat in that one. But I'm just tired of this World War III. Modern Warfare was World War III.
Yeah.
And ever since Modern Warfare, it's been World War III. And then Black Ops had this, and I got Black Ops 1 and 2. I actually got the collector's edition for Black Ops 2. And I enjoyed the games, but the single player just never grabbed me. But this the Infinite Warfare, I mean, the whole thought of humans going to another planet in the solar system, building up an army, and then come attacking us because they want what we have.
Yeah.
Is very intriguing. And the spaceships, and hopefully being able to fly a space fighter and do some dogfights and then jump out like they were showing and do some EVA. I love it's almost like a like Titanfall's grappling hook, in EVA.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That looks like fun. I love those real space physics,
Yeah.
But not that they will be, but if they're in close, I'll like
real.
Yep. So I don't know, man. I haven't bought a Call of Duty in quite a while, but the more I see of this one, the more I'm thinking I might pick it up. Not for the competitive multiplayer, because being an old man, being a grandpa, I am not going to keep up with those kids who play every day after school for 10 hours a day. And I have no desire to be like them.
Yeah.
You know, they have yet to have their kids and grandkids, and when they do, maybe they won't want to be them either. But life's just too short to spend all day playing games.
Oh,
And I'm on a gaming podcast. But we're going to move on to our first break. We're doing really good on time, Prime.
I know.
Prime, we're really doing good. Nice job.
Gotta keep it quick.
With two people, it's just like,
Well, yeah.
it's shorter. We kind of miss Zeus and DBQ both. Let us know that they had other things going on. They were very sorry they couldn't make it. It's always great to hear their perspectives. I was looking forward. Zeus is actually building a new PC.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I know I want to hear more from DBQ. Well, he said next week he's going to tell us if Rise of Iron kills the Destiny experience for people who do not buy Rise of Iron. And I think he's taking the page out of my book, because I was not happy that half the content I bought disappeared when Taken King came out.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
Well documented. My thoughts on that.
I think the listeners are probably sick about hearing me talk about that. If you are, drop me an email. I didn't get your email last week, so drop me an email if you want me to stop talking about that. But be nice. Hey, Prime, did you know Band of Gamers has its own Twitter account?
I did.
That's what they're not planning to get.
Sorry. I did not, is what I meant to say.
No, really? Yes. We have our very own Twitter account, and you can find us at Band of Gamers. Now, it's not .net, right? Our website is bandofgamers.net. And our Facebook page is bandofgamers.net. Oh, by the way, when you listeners visited our Facebook page, you forgot to like it. So you got to go fix that right now. Facebook.com, bandofgamers.net. Like the page. Thank you. With Twitter, we just went with at bandofgamersnet, N-E-T. Apparently, we weren't the first ones to think of the name Band of Gamers, so we couldn't use that. So we had to use Band of Gamers Net. And the good reason to have us on Twitter is as soon as the video goes live on YouTube, it'll tweet it out. So you'll know right away, hey, the newest edition is open. With that, I want to move on to the CAG update. Oh, the car update. So Casual Adult Racers. He had a 2-week. It was a September 4th and 11th update. And it starts off with SUVs attack. I was just laughing out loud. Just hilarious. The roadblocks all these huge, massive SUVs were getting into had me cracking up. So now, that's my pick. Prime, what was your pick from the latest car top 5?
I was actually the lag, question mark on there at the end, where he's kind of just, or whoever it is, just kind of driving. They just start out the race and everything's fine. Then all of a sudden, like the people in back from him, you just get like a turbo boost and they just like slam into him. So that was pretty funny.
I actually, years ago on the Casual Adult Gamers website, there was actually a pretty tense argument between two individuals, because one said, "You slammed into me and knocked me off the road," and the other said, "No, I didn't." And so they both posted pictures of the curve in question. And the guy who was accused, his pictures didn't show him anywhere near that other car. So lag, that's what happens when there's lag. The cars bounce all around the track.
The SUV attack that was in Forza. That was in Forza, right?
I think the SUV attack.
Oh,
I think it was in Forza. I know they were doing a lot of GTA 5.
Yeah,
but
I just didn't know. I didn't know they had like SUVs in there. I thought it was just like all sports cars and stuff.
It looked like Forza.
Yeah, I was just kind of wondering.
Wasn't really paying attention, I guess.
As long as you watched it.
I'm pretty. You know what I kind of said, because one of the SUVs is a Jurassic Park. One of the Jurassic Park vehicles. Jeeps.
Oh yeah, so
or Explorers or whatever it is. And And I was like, is that in Forza? That was my initial thought. I'm like, that's really in Forza? But the track looked like Forza, but it may have been GTA 5.
Could have been a custom paint, maybe.
So if Solo Racer X had joined us tonight, we would have the answer to this, Solo.
It's been a while. Solo.
Yes. Yep. I thought you could come every other week. No, I'm just teasing. We love you, Solo, and if you can join next time, you can join. We want to have you here, so you're very welcome to join us. Who knows? He may have tried to join, but he
That's
never got our
true.
invite.
Yeah.
Thank you, Google, for breaking a great thing.
YouTube Live.
YouTube, yeah. The funniest thing is you go and you launch it, YouTube Live events, and it comes up, Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, what? I thought it was replaced. But hey, I like it. Hey, keep the interface the same. I like it. I'm happy with it. Hey, going to the CAG update. Casual Adult Gamers. You can reach CAG by going to thecag.ws. That'll get you there quickly. And I just want to congratulate. We already mentioned him. This is the second time. I just want to congratulate. I'll say that better. Downriver Rat for being the member of the month. So I realized. Yes.
Golf
so Zero did not. I had to ping him today. Zero did not post a member of the month last month. Well, at the beginning of this month. So I went back and looked, and Downriver was up there at the top.
Nice.
And so we got Zero to get off off his rear end. I got to be careful because this is a family friendly. Got Zero to get off the couch and post a member of the month. And congratulations, Downriver Rat. And we're already talking about the member of the week coming up for this weekend. So we're pretty excited to announce that. And with that, we're done. That's the community update. Hey, if your community wants to update something, wants to announce something to the world on our podcast, just drop us an email or tweet us or leave us a message on YouTube. Now we're going into This Week in Gaming News. And this is sponsored by CasualAdultRacers.com, where adults go to have fun racing. And, Pram, I've been talking for a while. We're going to let you go first. What's a couple of news stories that you want to talk about?
All right. So the first one here is it's actually just a comparison of the PS4 Pro, aka PS Neo, and the Xbox One S. So I'm just going to run down. This is from IGN, just kind of their comparison that they have for the various categories here. So price, PS4 Pro $399, Xbox One. You got 3 different SKUs, so $299, $349, and $399, which I believe is 500 gigs, a terabyte, and 2 terabytes, I believe. Storage, like I just said, terabyte for the PS4 Pro, and then the 3 for the Xbox One. Software compatibility, plays all PS4 games on the PS Pro, and Xbox One plays all Xbox One games, obviously. And then, of course, they don't mention it here, but you got the 360 backwards compatibility games that you can always get on there, which I believe there is over 150, I think, now. Maybe.
Ooh, I think it's more than that. I'll look it up.
More than that?
Keep going. I'll look it up.
Might be either 150, 200. So.
I think it's more than that.
CPU, there is an 8-core AMD Jaguar. This is Jaguar on PS4 Pro. And same thing on Xbox One S. On the Xbox One S, they have 1.75 gigahertz. They don't mention anything as far as that on the CPU for Pro, though. We got GPU output is 4.2 teraflops. Got the teraflops going there. Xbox One S is Radeon at 914 gigahertz, so they don't mention teraflops. I don't know why on the Xbox One side. RAM, we got 8 gigs of GDDR5. On the Pro. And then on the Xbox One S is 8 gigs of GDDR3. HDR game playback, yes, for both systems. Blu-ray drive, they both do, or actually, no mention on the Xbox, but I'm assuming it doesn't. Oh yeah, there you go, Blu-ray drive. And then the Xbox One S also does the 4K output in 4K Blu-ray playback. Size, there's just dimensions, 11.6 by 12.8 by 2. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, that's right. You did get the one. I forgot. Nice. For the Pro, Xbox One S is 9 by 11.5 by 2.5. So the dimensions are fairly similar. Controller updated DualShock 4, and then of course there's a new Xbox One Slim controller, which I believe is Bluetooth too, right? They have Bluetooth on that,
Yes.
okay, so that's good. And then availability, Xbox One S is already out. It came out in August, and then PS4 Pro is coming out November 10th. So that's all the rundown as far as comparing the systems. It'll be interesting to see next year when the Scorpio, or whatever it's called, comes out and kind of compare those. And I was kind of thinking about it because I was listening to a podcast earlier today when I was at the gym, and they're kind of going back and forth about the PS4 Pro and the Scorpio. And kind of dumb because there's no real information yet on the Scorpio. But I was just wondering, do you actually think maybe Sony has something else that they might bring out next year? What do you think?
I don't think so. I think I think it's very odd. Sony is in the best place they could be for the next, 18 months, 14 months. I mean, if you think about, let's just think about, I'm not doing my job as a cameraman here. Let's just think about, what you get with a PS4 Pro for $399. You get the most powerful gaming console on the planet today that will support PSVR, will support VR. And, you get 4 teraflops, right? That's great. That's pretty phenomenal. They don't even list how many teraflops the Xbox One S is. Now, where the Xbox One S has an advantage is that it has HD. Well, it has, what do I want to say? It has 4K Blu-ray support.
Yeah.
So that is something none of the PlayStations have. So, it's funny because I picked one up. I'll talk about that in a minute, but that may actually be a big deal. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So, I really think the PS4 Pro is as far as a gaming machine, it is the biggest, baddest kid on the block. The Xbox One S can't even touch it. It is, for the price of an Xbox, for $50 more, you're getting double the processing power, more than likely. If let's say the Xbox One S came in at 2 teraflops. That said, Microsoft has hit a home run with the Scorpio. So let's just call the Scorpio. My guess is the Xbox One. Can't be the Pro because somebody's already chose that. The Xbox One S. How about just the Xbox One Plus? So the Xbox One Plus, all right, it's going to be 6 teraflops, okay? It's going to be 50% faster than the PS4 Pro. Can they really charge $500 for it? I just don't think so. I think Microsoft wants to charge $700 for it. And I'll tell you what, I don't think they can. I don't think anybody will buy it at $700. Even $600. $499, possibly, but you know what? If you had $399 versus $499, I think the PS4 Pro wins every time. I think it does. Now, as a big Xbox fan, who doesn't understand why Major Nelson didn't reply to my tweet last week.
Shame on you, Major.
Yeah, it was a simple question. When are we getting joystick support so I can play with the joystick in Elite Dangerous? But, when are we getting mouse and keyboard support? I guess we're not important. He didn't want to answer us. He's tweeting about all this ridiculous stuff, though. I'm like, well, couldn't you ask a serious fan's question? Couldn't you answer a serious fan's question if you can tweet about ridiculous things like dust balls and noodles and all this stuff? It's like, really? All right. But whatever. Hey, you must be doing what your company wants you to do, I guess. Ignoring customers. So anyways, back to the topic. So as an Xbox fan, I'm kind of sad to see. I'm happy for Sony, but I'm sad for us Xbox fans. Now, if Scorpio comes out at $400, home run for us, even though we're halfway through the generation. That's my opinion. Now, if you don't mind, I'm just going to continue on with the Scorpio PS4 Plus news because I have a news item on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is all kind of shaking out. And what Sony is saying is that more than likely, most of the games on the PS4 Pro will be upscaled to 4K. They're not going to run in native 4K. And that makes sense, and that matches up with everything Digital Foundry and everybody else has said, the people who are very technical and understand these things. And Microsoft also said this week that Project Scorpio will most likely run first-party games out of native 4K. Now, I have a feeling that you'll have an option to either do them at 4K 30 or 1080p or 1440p 60. But you know what? They got Forza 6 and Forza 5 to run at 1080p 60, so I believe. And again, they gave up some things to do that. There's some of the shadows are jaggy and things like that. But, if anybody's going to try to make that happen, I believe Microsoft will try to make that happen. 6 teraflops versus 4. We talked about this in the last episode. I won't go into great details, but that's a very interesting. But is it worth an extra $200, $600 versus $400? I don't think so. But in any case, those are my thoughts on that. The other thing I want to say about this is I did pick up. Was very fortunate to come into a refund that I was not expecting to get. So I talked my wife into letting me pick up an Xbox One S, so I could take it to the campground. The camping season is getting ready to close here in another few weeks, but this thing is great. In the laptop bag, I struggle. I have a regular laptop bag, and I struggle to get my G75 laptop gaming computer in it. It's a 17-inch screen gaming laptop, and I can't zip it up all the way. But even when I have my G75 in my gaming laptop bag, I can still fit the Xbox One S in the accessory pocket in the front.
Nice.
That's how much small. I mean, it's literally. I put it next to my 360. I really believe it's smaller than the 360. Not by much, but it is smaller than the 360. And without having that power brick, so I jumped on Amazon and I got an extra long cord because the cord in it is only like 5 or 6 feet. So I got an extra long cord, and I left the cord up at the campground for the, and it has great Wi-Fi built in. It has no power brick. It's small. It came with a HDMI cable, so that's great. And it came with the new. Now I thought the controller had Bluetooth for headsets, but it's actually for connected to your laptop. So I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
And quite honestly, there's something about my Halo controller that I bought that I like, the silver one. And Prime, you were telling me this. I turned in my old one because one of the sticks was drifting.
Right.
Every once in a while, I turned it in a trade up and got that Halo controller at GameStop. But anyways, I do feel the menus are snappier. I feel overall it's snappier. And it's got me thinking. Thinking about my absolute favorite movies of all time: Aliens, right? Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Just some of those epic movies that you just love. And if they come out in 4K, this thing has a 4K Blu-ray player in it. And, I may not have the bandwidth to stream 4K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with the copy protection issues, a lot of the studios may not allow some of their awesome movies to be streamed on 4K. Not right away anyway. So for a lag-free 4K experience, I'm thinking, so I've already shopped around and looked for a low-lag 4K TV, added it to my wish list, and maybe next year I'll be able to upgrade. But so I do think it's a game changer that way, because if you are a video file or a movie file, somebody who loves movies and just want to see your favorite movies in the highest res you can, that could be really cool. So with that said, very, very happy with the Xbox One S. I got it at the Microsoft Store. I got the 1 terabyte. It was $350 normal price, but it came with 2 Halo games. I had 2 friends who didn't have these 2 games, so that was nice. Plus, they gave me another free game, which I didn't get. There wasn't a big selection to choose from. I just chose a game I thought I could give away, and then it came with a $50 Microsoft gift card, which I immediately used to buy Microsoft points so I could buy Rise of Iron.
Oh, nice.
We'll see. So I thought it was a good deal. So it was regular price. I got 3 free games plus a $50 coupon or a gift card. So and I've seen similar similar style sales for the $300 model. So if you're looking for a portable Xbox, this is definitely it.
So you said you compared it with the 360. Which model 360?
Right now I have it next to the Slim, not the
Oh,
final,
okay.
not the final edition, which I don't like the looks of the last 360 they came out with. But you know this the black Slim one
Right. Yeah.
where it has less of a arc. It's more of a I don't know. But yeah, I can see them both sit and it's not as tall. I can tell you that it's not as tall. Um, but yeah, it's a slick little unit. The only downside is if you want the free Connect adapter, you have to get the serial number off of it, the Connect, and the other 360. So far I've only grabbed one of those serial numbers. So
Making it easy.
yeah, and you have to go online and register them all to your account. I'm like, I logged into my Xbox account with all three of these all the time. Don't you know I own these? But a small price to pay to get the adapter for free. But
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe trading up, but I like my Connect, so I didn't want to go through the hassle of getting the adapter and everything. I don't know.
yeah, it's another plug. It's another plug. Yeah, I'm getting good at double tapping and using X and Y to do my record that and and screenshots.
Yeah.
I actually like doing that better because I'm not yelling.
Yeah.
Because it's I'm telling you, several months ago, one of the updates made the Connect less responsive, in my opinion.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, are you using Cortana, or are you just using the regular Xbox commands? Right, or were you, I should say?
Right before I put right before 2 weeks ago when I got the Xbox One S, I was trying to get used to saying, "Hey Cortana." It's a lot, it's a lot more. So like, used to say
Yeah.
Xbox on, now it's Hey Cortana on.
I
It
don't
doesn't
like
make
the.
sense.
Yeah, I know. I don't like the hey part. I don't know why they even. I turned it off actually now. I don't use Cortana. I just use the regular Xbox command, the old Xbox command. So it's a lot easier. Seems faster too.
Can you turn off Hey Cortana and go back to
Yeah.
Xbox on?
Hmm.
You can.
Yep.
Ooh, I gotta find that.
Yeah, there's a Cortana setting. I forgot under which setting, but you see Cortana in there. You just turn it off. Go back to the old way.
And
So,
you don't lose anything?
there is something that you can't do. I can't remember what it is right now. I'll have to
Can't
think
yell
about
Hey
it.
Cortana.
You can't yell that anymore. No, there is some other function now. Oh, you can't use the headset.
All right, yes. The
You
only
have to
time you
use the
can
head.
do that.
Yeah,
Yep.
you have to go.
I haven't tried doing it with the headset.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the only thing.
well, let's go back to your second news story, and then we'll jump into mine because I think they're both very similar.
All right. So I guess more Sony news. So Bethesda, this was from last week, a couple weeks ago, actually. Yeah, about a week and a half ago or so. So they have mods coming out for Skyrim when it comes out next month, and obviously on the Xbox side, they already have the Fallout 4 mods that are out there, and I guess they're doing really well. They're doing pretty popular. I think at one point they were like, excuse me, they're being used more than the PC mods or something like.
Really?
There's some kind of statistic like that. Yeah, maybe it was just for that day or a week or something, but they're pretty popular. But they were going to bring them over to the Sony side, but it looks like Sony has put the kibosh on that for now, at least. And I don't think in the article they didn't really say why they made that decision, but they're basically blocking the mods for both Fallout 4 and Skyrim when it comes out. So kind of a bummer. That was then actually an official release statement that Bethesda sent out there that basically called out Sony. I mean, they named them when they had to, basically, saying that they're not gonna do anything with the mods at this point, at least. I guess they have them. Looks like they have them working and everything's okay, but for some whatever reason, maybe it's like the what do you call it, like the license thing, or I don't know if maybe they just don't want to. On the Xbox side, I don't know how well they regulate that. Obviously you could put I don't know if you could put like say Superman and Fallout 4 or something like that. If it gets that down to that specific things, or I don't have Fallout 4 to play it, but so I don't know if they didn't want to deal with that hassle of having copyright problems and stuff like that. So they didn't say that. This is my theory, maybe, is what they're going for, but unfortunately we won't see that on the Sony side, at least for the foreseeable future. So I don't know what your thoughts on that might be.
Yeah, Sony is a huge owner of movie studios, right? And they bought up so many movie studios after the whole Betamax debacle, which a lot of listeners probably don't even know anything about. But
Yeah.
they literally bought up, I don't know, dozens and dozens of studios. I remember when the whole Blu-ray versus HD, so HD DVD.
Yeah. HD DVD.
I actually have an HD DVD player and some HD DVD movies, which are red instead of blue, by the way. Um, if you looked at the studios that Sony owned, it seemed like it was half of all studios, movie studios Sony owned. And so one or two just went over to Blu-ray, and then everybody said, all right, they got the majority of the studios. Those studios are owned by Sony, so they're never going to change. So that's why HD DVD didn't win. Blu-ray apparently was a better spec. They could fit more on the disc. So in any case, I'm kind of thinking, Zeus was talking about the whole, HD. What is it? HCD? No, what is it? It's the card protection over HDMI, HDCP.
Yeah, I think so.
And and how difficult it is on the PS4. We have to go in, you have to change it, and it's not automatic like the Xbox One. I did read somewhere on the Xbox One that if you did go and watch TV and then went back to playing game, that sometimes that protection gets stuck on, and so you may have to power the unit off and on. But I'm just going back to the PS3. I thought there were several games that had wide open mods that anybody could make anything they wanted for it, and that was something that Microsoft didn't support. And I
Right.
don't know if it was Unreal or what it was, but I'm remembering that was just something like, well, mod support's coming to the PS3, but Xbox 360 owners, you don't get it. Sorry. And I can't remember what do you remember what the games were? I think Unreal was one of them, but I could be wrong.
No, I don't. The only thing I remember that they had was that Mod Nation Racers, I think it was called, where you can like create tracks and stuff. But I mean, I don't know really what you could do with like a track editor that would do anything, as far as copyrights and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really thought that that last generation that they really owned the whole custom mod support, and I not remembering the specifics. So, but in any case, if anybody out there remembers, drop me an email or send us a tweet. In any case, yeah, it's very strange because it seems like Microsoft is supporting them 110%. And Sony's just not letting it happen. So I recommend go read the story if you're interested in it, because it was a very interesting post. It seemed like it pained them to actually bring it to the public, but they have put untold hours into making it work. And
Yeah.
wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, it's a shame. And I don't know too. On the PS3 side, back when Skyrim came out, there was a lot of problems with it. So this might be like the definitive version for them. It might actually work because I know there's a lot of problems with Skyrim on the PS3, and it worked fine on Xbox. So I don't know if it was just like the cell processor they had problems with, but this could have been the go-to version too. But now, I mean, it still will be, but they just won't have mod support. That's all. But I do want to say, Skyrim Ultimate Edition, or yeah, I think that's what it's called, is coming out the same day as Titanfall 2. So that really stinks.
Wait a minute. Skyrim is a single player experience. You can play it anytime.
Oh, I know.
It's like No Man's Sky. It doesn't matter when you buy it. You'll be able to enjoy it whenever you want.
But when I was playing Skyrim, and that's it. I didn't play anything. Skyrim was actually the game that got me off of Black Ops, the original Black Ops, and I was playing Black Ops like all the time, like pretty much anytime I gamed, I was playing that. Skyrim came around, I played Oblivion. I liked it, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll try this one. I didn't like Fallout 3. I know that's blasphemy, but sorry guys. But Skyrim came around. I was like, yeah, I'll play this, and it was like just blown away by it. 10 times better than Oblivion. So I just got really into it, and I got a feeling I'm going to get into it again, even though I pretty much I beat the main story, and I beat most of the DLC except for the very last one, which had something to do with like the first what did they call those guys? I forgot. Like the main guy in the story. I don't remember right now, but it was like the first of his kind or whatever. So that was the only thing I never beat. I ran out of, there's so much came out. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm still going back and forth if I'm going to buy both on day one. I'll probably wait on Titanfall most likely.
No, I'm
Has
not
to.
getting Titanfall day one. I'm not getting. I've
Yeah.
decided not to get, even though I thoroughly enjoyed Titanfall, very very late after it came out. But yeah, I picked up the Skyrim on Steam real cheap with all the mods. So now I'm
Yeah.
going to get the definitive edition or legendary edition or whatever they call it for free on Steam.
Yeah.
For
That's nice.
me, if I'm at home and I'm on my my Xbox One, I'm going to try to find some friends to play with. Oh, a shout out to Bullet, who I've bumped into a few times and got to play with online, both in Elite Dangerous and in, almost in the Division. Not quite. He didn't have any lower level characters. That's one thing about the Division. You can't play with friends who are higher levels very easily.
Oh,
And then
really?
a shout out to LJJ, who I was in the same boat. He was level 20, and we were going back through on level 8s and 9s. And yeah, so if you have a level 20 and a level 10, all your enemies are 15, which makes the level 20 happy, but the level 10 almost can't survive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't. It's it's so hard to play. It's not like Destiny where, if you're level 10 and the enemies are level 10 and the level 20 joins you, yeah, he may not be as challenged, but the enemies do not become, so difficult that the level 10 can't fight them. So that's the one quirk about the Division. But so shout out to Bullet and to LJJ, guys. Very good to see you this week in the game. So my story has nothing to do with your story. But are you really gonna? You really would pass up a Titanfall 2 for Skyrim, which you've already completed?
Yes.
Wow.
That's a definite yes. Well, yeah, because I don't think I mentioned this on the last show, but I changed my mind on what I was buying this fall. So I was gonna pick up Titanfall 2 and then wait on Battlefield 1. But now after I played both the technical test on Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1's beta. And I don't know, there's just something about the Battlefield 1 that I really liked a little bit more than Titanfall. I don't know what it was. It's just, I don't know if it's going back to that, it's not, sci-fi, it's not futuristic. It's just like a regular, guns, just regular guns and old style guns too. You're right. You got all the old guns and you're riding in old tanks and vehicles and you can get on a horse if you want, ride around the battlefield. So yeah, I think I just had more fun in that. And maybe if I was playing with people, like when I was playing the technical test, I didn't play with anybody on my friends list or anything, or any friends. So maybe I would have had just as much fun. But I think pretty much when I was playing all the time, I was playing with like DB and World Voyager and all those guys. So yeah, we had a really good time. So I think there might be like a weekly Battlefield gaming session going on once that comes out. So yeah, so my plans have changed. So
man, I'd love to play with those guys. They're great guys to game with, but they're not early riser, East Coasters like me and Downriver Rat and Spiral and Macebite. There's a group of us who are, we're up 4 or 5 o'clock. We're trying to get to bed by 9:30. So
yeah,
that's usually, I think, when World Voyager and DB, they get on around 9 or later.
Yeah. Yep. So, usually get on around 9. I think World's on East Coast time too, but he usually only stays up until about 10 Central Time, so probably like 11 o'clock his time. But
yeah,
he doesn't stay up too late, at least not during the week. But
yeah, and they have kids, so they have to get the kids in bed first, which I totally understand. I've been there. My kids are all young adults now, but totally remember having to get the kids down before you can start gaming. So totally understand where they're coming from. But in any case, maybe someday I'll be able to stay up late and game again.
You have the day off the next day.
Yeah, on occasion, there's been these Friday nights where the wife has gone to bed early, and I've grabbed a glass of something with ice in it, and bumped into old friends online and had an absolute blast. Last time was probably 2 months ago. I think it was Jetty and Magnum and CT, maybe. Yeah, I think that's who it was. And we played all kinds of different games. Then I fell asleep. But good guys to play with. So my story actually has nothing in common with yours. I totally misread your second story. My second story was, and the reason I'm thinking about this is because I had tweeted, and I used the Band of Gamers Twitter account instead of my Twitter account, which just because that was what was selected when I opened the browser. I had tweeted Major Nelson, who last time I checked, I thought he worked for Microsoft's Xbox division. But in any case, I was asking about a Saytech. Saytech has this, and I'm probably not saying it right, but they have this flight stick combo. You know, it has the throttle and the flight stick, which you can put in your lap, and it's for the PS4 and PC. Well, I'm like, well, if it works with the PC, why can't it work with Xbox? So, in any case, that being fresh on my mind, I just read today, and this story is only a couple days old, over at Engadget, where I'm starting to get a lot of stories from. They're great guys. They love tech. That Logitech paid $13 million to buy Saytech from Mad Catz. So very interesting. So if anybody from Logitech is listening, could you contact Major Nelson and ask him when the Xbox One will get Flight 6 support? I mean, it's running Windows 10. It should be pretty easy. But yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm looking at it right now. It's quite the controller.
Are you looking at the $50 one I was talking about?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, that looks like it could go in your lap, right?
Yeah, it should.
It kind of has a flat bottom, a kind of a pedestal thing.
It looks like it's kind of in two pieces, but I don't know if they're connected or not. I'm assuming. Like the stick.
How much is it the $50 one? Is it like?
I'm looking at the article right now. The picture, whatever the picture's in the article.
I don't know. That may not be the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
They have a few that are the one I read about most on the Frontier forums, on the Elite Dangerous forums, I think is the X52, which people seem to love. I think they're on X56, but people keep buying the X52 for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, very interesting. Logitech, man, they've been around forever, and I think it's a smart move. They actually, the article says they bought it from Mad Catz, which Mad Catz, they don't strike me as being in that space.
Oh, for flight sticks?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're kind of more controllers and Guitar Hero or Rock Band peripherals and stuff like that.
Now, didn't they have a fallout? Didn't they fall out with the Rock Band people? I thought there was this big drama about a month ago with them and Fallout. Them and the Rock Band people like pointing fingers at each other. I didn't read the story because it was like, it didn't seem like it was very serious. But yeah, Mad Catz. I have some Mad Catz. They've been around for a long time. I've always thought of them as making bargain controllers. Like if your game controller died, you need a bargain controller. Go with Mad Catz. They had good quality, but they were less expensive than the actual device. That's what I think of Mad Catz at.
Yeah,
might be totally wrong.
No, yeah, I always thought the same thing with them. But I guess their quality's gotten, or it was getting better. I don't know if it still is or not. I don't think I've ever owned a Mad Catz controller or peripheral or anything like that. So
the ones I had, I thought were very good quality.
I know GameStop always pushed them pretty hard, the Mad Catz stuff, extra accessories and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think some of their devices were awkward looking.
Yeah,
and so I avoided them just because they weren't close enough to the original, and it was they'd go way out and make it kind of like very unique. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't look like it's comfortable.
I thought didn't they make some kind of I don't know if it was a tablet or like a streaming device I thought they had made something that they had tried in that space. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking
they probably
of something else.
did. They probably did.
Like portable, like kind of like a what's that thing that Zeus has? The Shield, the NVIDIA Shield. I'm not sure if it was that. I might be thinking of another company, but I thought they made something like that too. I don't know.
You know what? Next time we have the show, I'm going to actually go and check out Mad Catz site and see what they're doing. Yeah. With that, we don't have a topic of the week, and I'm looking at the time. We're doing pretty good for time. I think we're going to wrap it up. So let me give you the last word here. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm going to be trying to be playing Elite Dangerous as much as I can this coming week. trying to get used to everything still, but maybe do some mining like I mentioned before and try to get my ship in shape basically. I got to start streaming again. I was streaming Elite Dangerous when I first started out, like those first few sessions, and then I just got really frustrated. So I was just trying to concentrate on the game. But now that I'm more used to it, I think I'll start streaming again too on Twitch. So you can look for me on there, TileMaster99. Oh, I'm sorry, Osiris Prime. Getting my my usernames mixed up now.
Yeah, I know the feeling. If I think we're getting ready for my daughter's wedding this weekend, so I don't think I will be going to the campground, unfortunately. So if I see you on, I will definitely try to join up with you.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that one night that I hooked up with you, and then I was playing with I forgot his name now. Andre, I think it was.
Oh yes, Wonder Boy
Yeah.
V2. Yep.
Yep, for a little bit, and yeah, he helped me out a lot that night. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I saw Bullet on one time, but I think he left not too long after I jumped on. So last week at some point. But yeah, I definitely want to get into a group and just see how that. See, I don't know how that works. Do you like do missions? Can you do missions together, or how does that work when you do multiplayer? Or have you done it?
Yes, you can't. It's the simple thing is you can all do missions in the same area, I guess, is my experience has been. So if you all want to go bounty hunting in the same area and gang up on the same ship, that's great.
Oh, okay.
You can all, if you have one person flying cargo and, you could fly with them and protect them in a fighter. So if you get interdicted and you can't get out of it, your fighter companion could come in and start attacking the guy who's attacking you. If you're part of the wing, then if he attacks your wingmate, it's like he attacked you, and so
Okay.
you can if you're not part of the wing, though, I don't think that's true. But so you can do a lot of things together, and it's cool posing for we posed for that shot. I think you are still in your Sidewinder though.
Yeah, I still had the
when
Sidewinder.
we posed for
Yeah.
that shot. So over at casual.gamers.com/EDF. That stands for Elite Dangerous Facts. You'll find all kinds of facts, but you also find links to the posts we're talking about where we've taken pictures of our ships when we've met up. So you can do things together. I would like to grab my mining rig and go try mining with you. So I have a Cobra Mach 3, I believe. And, we could go do trial because I haven't done the mining yet. You do need a refiner.
Yeah.
You need a refiner and mining lasers.
Yeah, I
and
saw that.
storage. But
yeah, I was gonna try that today, but then I started running out of time, so I was like, I don't want to. I can't do all that right now.
well,
So
if you figure it out, let me know because I would like to know how to do it.
yeah, there's like those couple extra things you needed. Yep. And then there's something else I was gonna ask you about there. I can't remember now. Oh,
So
sorry.
if you've looked at the new intro for the if you're watching this on YouTube, you've probably seen the intro because you couldn't get here without watching it. The beginning of the new intro is the Elite Dangerous transition into hyperspace, which I thought is pretty cool. And if anybody out there has like a 5-second really cool clip that you think would fit good in our intro, I want to replace all those clips with new clips like I did with the Elite Dangerous one. We're going to have a contest. So if you have a nice clip, send me a link to it. And we're actually going to give away an Xbox One game that is still in the wrapper that you can take down and trade in at your local GameStop or keep if you want to keep it. What did I say? I got Watch Dogs.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody out there has a clip that you think is pretty cool and would fit in our intro, send me a link to it, and then I'll put your name in the hat. We'll draw it randomly out for an Xbox One game, which you're more than welcome to trade or keep if you want to play the game. So I think with that though, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Prime, thank you for hanging in there through all the technical difficulties.
That's all right. You still got the bugs.
Yeah, you figured out how to do it. Just copy the link and send it in snail mail or email. So that worked. And it should go smoothly next time because we get the bugs worked out. And for you, the listener, chime in with us if you want to guest host on the show. We'd love to have you. Just like we had Stone Cold Reaper.
His name.
It's hard after 10 years to learn a new name. And then, just send us an email over at podcast@bandofgamers.net, or you can comment over there on our forum or on our posts. And you can get us over at @bandofgamersnet on Twitter. That's where I got ignored by Major Nelson. And you can also like our Facebook page still over at facebook.com/bandofgamers.net. And that's it. Anything else, Prime?
Oh, that's it.
All right. Well, for myself and Osiris Prime, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until the next time we meet, peace.